everyone. Welcome to Wine and Wellness Wednesday. I'm Lindsay Brantley, the founder of Camellia Alise and the Camellia Alise Academy, and I'm super excited to be with you guys today. So before I get started, the one thing, if you guys have been watching me, you know that I'm still in the middle of my 25-day wellness challenge. So I am not drinking wine today. I wish I was, but I am drinking Welch's Rosé. They actually have a non-alcoholic rosé, y'all. So if you are drinking wine, please drink some for me. And so I want to toast each and every one of you guys. Happy Wednesday for making it through half of the week. All right. And a couple of my PSA, y'all, my public service announcement. If y'all are on the page, you saw that today I voted. So I just wanted to say, y'all get out there, early vote. Don't wait till the last minute. It took me 5 minutes, but if it would have took me 4 hours, I would have waited. So do it now because the day of is going to be crazy. So that's my PSA announcement. Please get out there, vote, let your voice be heard, okay? Also, I am so excited to be with you guys this week. I missed y'all last week, but I have to tell you, I had a really good excuse. So, a tree fell on my car, y'all. A tree fell on my car. Yes, you heard it right. So, we were working here at the spa like normal, and my assistant went outside to take some boxes out to the car, and she was like, to the recycling bin, and she's like, did you know that tree fell? I was like, what? She's like, the tree fell on your car. I'm like, what do you mean? So we go outside, and now first, let me just say, thank God it could have been a whole lot worse. The tree didn't fall directly on my car and total it, but it fell right up against my car, so it completely scratched the whole side of my car, and it fell to where it was like blocking my car. So it was blocking the back of my car. I couldn't move. I had to call a couple guys to come help me move it. So yeah, last week, it just was not happening. And y'all know that I come on here and talk every week about self-care, skincare, everything in between. And part of my self-care last week was to take a freaking break and say, you know what, a damn tree just fell on my car. I am not going live. I'm taking a break. So I missed y'all last week, but I'm really excited to be back this week. For those of you who are new to our lives, like I said, I'm Lindsay Brantley. I'm the founder of Camellia Alise and the Camellia Alise Academy. And every week I do Wine and Wellness Wednesday, and we talk self-care, skincare, everything in between on the @Camellia Alise page because we focus there on skincare. Here I talk to you guys about business, marketing, and everything that you guys are interested in. So first and foremost, if there's any, hey, thank you guys so much for joining. If there is any specific topic that you guys want me to talk about when I do Wine and Wellness Wednesday, please continue to DM them to me, and I will answer the questions, and I will get those topics up and going. So I'm an open book. Any questions y'all have, I will definitely answer. So if you tuned into Wine and Wellness on the skincare page, you guys would have heard me talk about when disaster strikes and some self-care tips for getting you through those moments. Well, on this end, I'm actually going to continue it, but I wanted to talk to you guys more specifically about self-care tips to help you avoid burnout as an entrepreneur. So like I said, last week was freaking crazy. Tree fell on my car. Then I just found out that my mom is having to have major surgery in a couple weeks. So I had to change flights because I'm going to be in LA in a week and a half. All kinds of crazy stuff going on, right? And I'm still trying to always make sure that I take care of my clients, my students. I take care of my family, so there's always a lot going on around me. And I'm sure it's the same for you, especially when you're a business owner. So I wanted to talk specifically, I'm going to talk about the same self-care in 3 regions, which are going to be your physical self-care, your emotional self-care, and your thoughts for self-care tips. But I'm going to talk more so about it as a business owner on this end. So if you guys have any questions, please interrupt me at any time. But I'm going to talk about self-care tips for your physical first. So first of all, we are all business owners. We're running all day long, taking care of this person, taking care of that person. But what are you really and truly doing to take care of yourself, to make sure that you stay healthy and that you can continue to service your clients, service your business? So the first and most important thing should be get sleep. If you guys are always out there and you're running and going, are you making sure that you get an adequate amount of sleep so that your body can rest, your brain can rest, and you can continue to service all of your clients? So the first thing that I'm going to say is always make sure that you get enough sleep. It's super important. The second thing for physical activity, all day long, you're, like I said, running around taking care of other people in your business, but are you doing anything for your own health? Right now, you guys know that I'm doing my 25-day wellness challenge, no alcohol, but I'm also walking. I'm also vibrating with our Vibe machine a little bit more. So just adding in a little bit more physical activity helps with stress reduction. It also helps with your overall health and well-being, mentally and physically. So make sure that you're out there moving around. I always say take a mental wellness walk, 20 minutes a day. Do something for yourself. Another self-care tip for physical well-being is, of course, to stay away from overuse of alcohol and usage of drugs, which is, of course, why, I don't overuse alcohol, but sometimes it's good to take a break and replace, alcohol with water. So I'm doing water flushing and things of that sort. So just make sure that you're balancing out your body and not just pouring a whole bunch of bad stuff in it and not enough good stuff, okay? And then the next one is gonna be, it says on here, nurturing yourself by spending time each day doing something calming, such as deep breaths. I always say, take a deep breath. At the end of the day, you are the franchise, you are the brand, right? So if you're not physically taking care of yourself and you're not taking a few minutes just to breathe, you are going to burn yourself out. And eventually you're going to start also spilling it over into your business, being like, well, the hell with this person. I don't feel like dealing with this client today. I don't feel like dealing with that person. And start getting angry at all your clients that didn't do anything, right? It's because you're totally overwhelmed. So you have to have some physical outlets. And then the next group is on thoughts. So self-care tips for thoughts as a business owner. And so I'm kind of reading through some stuff that I found was really important. So I was taking notes and I wanted to make sure I got all this stuff across for you guys. So self-care strategies to avoid burnout for your thoughts. Making sure that if there is an issue or a disaster or a customer service issue, before you let your thoughts take over, negative thoughts, or get angry or get hurt, feel like you're hurt, or it's like, I ran around and I did everything for this client and she was still mad. So before you let all of that take over, take a few minutes to get the full scenario of everything. Make sure that you go to a reliable source and find out what actually happened. If someone is complaining and saying, oh, well, you said I was getting a 60-minute treatment, I only got 50 minutes, and your front desk person says she's complaining, go to the source. Go to the source and figure out what's happening. Come up with a solution before you let negative thoughts, anger, and hurt feelings take over. Because eventually, if you continue to do that, it will compound on you, okay? The next thing is to structure your time. Oh my God. As a business owner, I talk to my girls all the time about this. Making sure that you schedule time to eat. Making sure that you schedule time to sanitize your space before the next client comes in. There's a lot that can be crammed into one day, but if you are constantly running and overdoing it, and you have you're letting everyone else control your schedule, you'll burn out within 6 months. You'll be like, I have clients calling me all day. They want this, they want that. You can't just let other people take over your day. You need to structure your day in a way that you are also fulfilled. If you have seen 10 clients in a day, but you haven't eaten, those 10 clients got what they needed, but you didn't get what you needed to nourish yourself. So now you're angry, exhausted, burning out, but it's not really their fault, is it? Because they don't control your schedule, you control your schedule. So get yourself, into a daily schedule where you're building in time to take care of you. It is extremely important, okay? The next thing is set goals. Set short-term and long-term goals. Talk about that all the time. But your mindset makes a big difference. So in order to take control of your thoughts, you want to make sure that you set goals. What is it that you're trying to do? Like I was saying, if you're trying to take care of 10 clients every day and doing this, why are you doing all these things? Is it because you're trying to make a certain amount of money? Is it because this is what makes you happy? If you don't know what makes you happy and you don't know ultimately the goal that you want to have, then you're just spinning your wheels. I always say, like, if your goal, if someone asked me this today in an interview, they said, what is success to you? If success means you own a boat, right? And you're like, I have to have a yacht. That's success to me. Okay, well, if owning a yacht is success to you, okay, then make that your goal and say, this is what I have to do to get to it. Whatever your goals are, you can realistically put a plan together for it. But it all starts with the mindset, right? So take control of your thoughts. Make sure that you know what you're working towards, okay? And then as far as self-care tips for thoughts, like to avoid burnout, you actually need to give yourself a little grace. And sometimes that means lowering your expectations and not beating yourself up because you had a list of 100 things you needed to get done, but you only got 10 done. You have to redirect those thoughts and tell yourself, you know what? I got these 10 things done. They were my top priority. They were the most important. I got another 24 hours tomorrow to try to go and accomplish the other things and try to check off the rest of the stuff on the list. So don't beat yourself up constantly. Like, let your thoughts be on those good things, right? Like, I accomplished these 10 things. Let me focus on those 10 things that I accomplished instead of focusing on the 90 things that I didn't accomplish. And realistically, as a business owner, if you're servicing clients, are you really going to get 100 other things done that day? Probably not, okay? There's only 24 hours in a day. We all get the same 24 hours, right? So be realistic with yourself and don't beat yourself up if you don't meet every goal every single time. That's super important. Now I'm going to go over a couple of self-care tips for emotions, because our emotions are the one thing that we can kind of just let run rampant, run wild on us. And that's the one thing that will take you out as an entrepreneur, continuing to beat yourself up and letting your emotions take over. So here's a couple things that I found that are really important. The first one for me, the most important one, is going to be focusing on the things that you have control over, okay? And I used this example earlier on the other live, but I could not control that a tree fell on my damn car. There's nothing I could do to have prevented that. I couldn't have predicted it. The tree wasn't leaning over, right? I can't control that. But what I do after and how I react to it are the things that I can control. So I was able to say, okay, look, there's a tree and I need to pick up my kid, but I can't move my car. So I gotta call somebody else to pick up my kid, and I gotta call somebody else to help me move this damn tree. Those are the two things that I can control. Those are the actions that are gonna take over. If I sat in the driveway and started crying because a tree was on my car, was that gonna help the situation? No. You have to focus on the things that you can change, and then you have to react in a way that's gonna push you forward instead of reacting in a way that's gonna keep you stuck. So you have to kind of look at the situation and find a way through it. Don't let your emotions in that very moment take over and cause you to move backwards instead of forwards or stay stuck, okay? The next thing emotionally that's the most important, and I did not talk about this for them, but for a business owner, the most important thing is going to be a self-evaluation to figure out what makes you happy. If you do not know what makes you happy, you will constantly let your emotions take over, and at the end of the day, you're going to be like, I have this amazing business, I have this amazing this and amazing that, but I'm still unhappy. And believe me, other people will see it and recognize it too. What makes you happy? Why do you have this business? Why do you have everything you have? Why do you want that boat? You know, really just take a little bit of time to reflect on yourself and emotionally take control of that. Like I said, somebody asked me what success meant, but like what makes me happy is my family, right? Like spending time with my family, not having to stress about paying bills, not having to stress about like I don't have enough food to eat. Like just spending quality time with those that I love. Oh my God, laughing for no reason with my husband, vacations, those are things that make me happy. So those are the things that I want to put more energy into and build up my emotional well-being by doing the things that make me happy. So you guys need to do the same. Talking about things that stress you out and things that have happened actually helps your emotions. And I did, like I said, I did tell the story before of someone who called and it was supposed to be an appointment and she wound up telling me her whole life story. In that moment, I realized that that young lady didn't have anybody else to talk to and she needed to get it out. So I listened. I do highly recommend having that support system and talking to that support system. But if you don't have a support system, a professional counselor, therapist, you do need to talk things out. You can't just continue to hold them inside because if you do, your brain and your emotions will just continue to run rampant because you don't have an outlet. Okay, so it is important to talk about how you feel, talk about what's happening, talk about what is affecting you so that you can find a way to control it and move forward from it. And then the last thing that I'm going to talk about is being careful with your emotions. Being careful not to take hurt and anger out on others because at the end of the day, you will definitely burn yourself out if you don't have any, like you lose control over your business, you lose control over your time, and then you start to emotionally attack other people, you know, like you're getting upset, you're going back and forth. I needed to hear this today. I hit a point this week. Oh yes, definitely. Like we all do, and that's why, like I'm saying right now, like I'm always smiling, y'all. I get, you know, I'm happy through most things, but at the end of the day, I have stuff going on too. Like I said, my mom's having a major surgery. We just found out this week. Trees falling on my car, all kinds of stuff happens. But I'm not perfect at this either. I don't always take my own advice. That's why it's so important. When I come here to talk to you guys, I'm talking to myself as well. But you just want to make sure that you at least recognize when you're angry or hurt and don't take it out on people who didn't do anything to you. And what happens a lot of times is if we just kind of save up all of that anger and hurt, then we start attacking people who it wasn't even their fault. You know, you start yelling at your husband and he's like, I didn't do anything to you. What the hell happened to you today? So, you know, just kind of take a few minutes to do that self-reflection and try to take control of your emotions. And like I said, for me, these are all connected. A lot of times I'll just take my what I call my mental wellness walk. I was like, you know what? Don't talk to me right now. I'll come in the house, put my shoes on, my workout clothes, and I got to go for a walk because I'm not in a place where I can give you positive energy. I'm so overwhelmed by everything that's going on, and I just need to take a freaking walk. Allow yourself that grace, right? It's okay to be overwhelmed. It's okay to have bad days. We all have them, but how we react to those situations are what make the difference. So I just wanted to, like I said, come on and talk to you guys about this. And as business owners, we all need to try our best to achieve a little bit of balance and just self-reflect. When you feel like there are moments where, you know, you're not happy, you are stressed out, you got to see what you need to change in order to bring back that happiness or to take control of those things. Let me just tell you, the schedule, that can be the hardest and easiest things. But you can't let all of your clients take over your schedule. At a certain point, you have to say, you know what? I control this schedule. And if I want Sundays off, I'm going to block off Sundays and I'm not going to take clients on Sundays. Like, it's not selfish that out of 30 days, I take 4 to rest. You know what I mean? So you kind of have to look at it from that perspective. and I got my first massage for the first time in 7 months. And the one thing that the massage therapist said is, you are the brand, you are the business, and if your car or your body breaks down, is the business gonna keep going? No. Like, I can't teach. If I can't teach, then I can't teach, right? So you gotta take care of yourself in order to keep your business moving forward. Because if your car is on flat, it ain't going anywhere. So once again, I hope that gave you guys some good insight on a couple things that you should do or can do to implement and help yourself to achieve a little bit more self-care, wellness, balance, and all that fun stuff. So next week, I am super excited because I will be off of my 25-day challenge, y'all, and I will have some real wine. But in the meantime, like I said, I got my Welch's Rosé going. I didn't even know they had this, y'all. I've been getting creative. But I will join you guys next week. If there's anything, like I said, that y'all specifically want me to talk about, DM me, ask questions, let me know. We'll talk about it. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you next week. Talk to you soon. Bye.